Hi everyone, I'm Dino,
I'm Ginger.
I'm ever hot.
and
And
welcome to the Hotspot, brought
brought
to
to
you
you
by
by
Haynes
Haynes
Immortal.
Immortal.
Today we have a very special guest.
All the way from Jamaica, live in Toronto.
Mrs. Universe Jamaica 2024.
Queen. Don't forget
Queen, and that's Queen
Queen
to
to
you
you
guys.
guys.
With the big crown,
okay?
Queen.
Miss Anika Francis. How are you doing today, Mrs.?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Thank you. So, for all my followers, please. So, to all my followers, please make sure that you follow, you subscribe, and you share this dope Hotspot podcast and their merch line, Haynes Immortal.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Are we recording? Or are we
So
going straight?
before we get into today's episode, can you tell the people a little more about yourself? Who's Anika Lisa?
Of course. Anika Lisa Francis. I am a mom of 4 boys. And I am a full-time employee with the City of Toronto. I'm also a full-time entrepreneur. I am a full-time actress. I manage my children's career as their child actors as well. And on top of that, I am the co-owner of Dre's Cakes. We are located in Brampton, Ontario, but you've seen us on City TV, CTV. We've been published in a few magazines, and we've been around the city a few times. Anika Lisa Francis, I'm just a go-getter. I'm a grinder. I'm a connector. And I believe that as long as there's potential, I believe in excellence. So I believe in executing at the greatest capacity that I can.
Wow. So 4 boys.
Yes,
Let's talk
sir.
about how is that? How do you feel like that's a house full of men and you're the only
Female, yes. You would think I feel overrun, right?
Yeah.
But no, that's where the queenship started.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm definitely a queen in my house. I've grown my boys to be aware,
Yes.
mindful, present, emotionally intelligent.
And that's important.
Yes,
Very
because I want my children to be well-rounded. I want them to be great examples of society, and I want to disbar and dispel what Black men ought to be in the society.
Yes.
So I'm growing kings. Their Instagram is raising kings because that's what I'm doing.
Oh, great.
As a Black mom too.
Yes.
Yes. So, tell me about like your background. Like, what made you inspired to like take that role of being like queen or like doing pageants and
That's a wonderful question.
Yes.
So I was born in Jamaica. I lived in Jamaica till I was 11 years old. I passed my common entrance for Queens High School. Then I immigrated here to Canada. I don't necessarily view myself as a pageant girl.
Okay.
I view myself as a challenger. So I see a challenge and I assess it and I tackle it. So when I turned 40, I challenged myself to live my best life.
Wait, you're 40?
Yes.
She looks amazing.
Wow. Oh my God.
Thank you.
You know what they said? Black don't cry.
It sure don't.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So a few of the challenges that I have, I see a lot of people saying they want to live their best life. So that's, whether clubbing, traveling, whatever the case is. For me, it's truly embracing anything that comes to mind. So if I can conceive it, I can achieve it. So when pageantry was brought to me, it's not a thing that I would have normally done, but I say, why not? Why not dispel the myth that a mom, a Black mom, a woman that's not 5'8" and thin,
Yes.
a woman that is 5 feet and curvy can go to a pageantry like Mrs. Universe because it's a 47-year-old franchise. Why can I not go there and dispel what beauty really looks like?
Right.
So I went there with my charisma. I went there with my personality. I went there with my intelligence. I saw and I conquered.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
I
a
have a
great step.
question though. Have you ever felt intimidated because you're tiny? You look very beautiful, but you're
Thank you.
tiny compared to
The
tall.
other women?
Yes.
That is really good. Full transparency. I have a good friend, and he says that I have a short person complex. So, have you ever seen those images of the kitty cat looking into the mirror and they see the lion? That's me. I call myself a giant. And the reason why I have boys is because God has equipped me to be the giant that I am, but he put me in a small body. But when I show up in a room, I don't show up as understanding what other people are doing. I show up as myself. My biggest competition is myself. And when I start to compare, I'm stealing my own joy. And I don't want to do that. So when I went on that stage, I had no one cheering for me, ladies. I don't live in Jamaica. It was my first time in Jamaica in 29 years. When I left Jamaica at 11, I hadn't returned until I was 40. So I had many challenges against me.
Yes.
And when everyone was cheering for contestant number 3, 4, I held my head high because I knew I went there for a reason. I knew I went there for a purpose. And I know that my God don't play about me. And if I put it in my heart, I'm going to accomplish it.
Oh, yes, and you did.
And I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So to answer your question, was I intimidated by my taller, more thinner contestants? No. I admired them. I gave them their flowers, but I looked at myself.
Yes.
Love that.
That's good.
So what gave you this drive to say, you know what? I want to pursue Miss Universe Jamaica, like?
That's a great question. Again, I don't necessarily take any particular situation as like I want, because would I do pageantry again? Absolutely not. I've already done it. I got the crown. Do I need to do it? I don't need to prove anything else, right? So for me, it's just challenges. That's it. Like I see a task, and if I can conceive it, I'm gonna go for it and achieve it. I became an actress 3 years ago. I saw it, I researched it, and I said, okay, I can conceive it. I'm gonna achieve it. And now, right now, if you turn on the TV, I have 2 very large campaigns airing. I'm in CIBC. That's me. If you watch the CIBC
Yes, I see that.
commercial.
I see that. I see that.
And Vapor Cool, which is Vicks Vapor Rub. I filmed that in Mexico, and every time you turn the TV on, you see me. So yes. So I saw it, I conceived it, and I achieved it.
So you just had a vision, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Question, like, for young girls that's looking up to you, like, what's a step for them to get into pageantry, or they want to be Miss Universe? What step do they need to take?
Just to
Like, what advice do you have for them?
for those girls with like low self-esteem,
But they want to be in that industry.
like what message can you tell them?
Those are really great questions. It's something that I do when I speak, just to young people, not just young women, because sometimes we pigeonhole and we put a lot of emphasis on young women. But because I'm a mom of boys, I feel like they need encouragement as well. The only advice that I can challenge our youths is that they have to understand individuality, right? I find that the issue at hand right now is no one wants to be their authentic self. So say they see me as the pageant queen, they're like, well, I want to do that. But is that really what you want to do? Is that who you really are? So first identify your individual self, then walk in your purpose. If you suffer from self-esteem, work on that through reading, praying, finding a support system that will motivate, empower, and inspire you. If your crowd is constantly saying, Dino, that's not for you, you need to switch up the trajectory of who you're around, because sometimes we feel like the crowd that we are in is the better option because it's familiar, we've known them for a long time, but those are those are the catalysts to your demise, the catalyst to your death, the catalyst to the demise of your future and what God has put inside of you, right? So I say to young people, if you want to do any industry, pageantry, hosting, styling, whatever you want to do, first identify who you are. Did you guys know that as human beings, we are born into a condition? So when you're born, just walk with me on this.
Okay.
When you're born into a black home. So say there's certain things that are automatically conditioned. How you talk, how you walk, what you wear, what you eat. But have you ever come to realization that that might not be who you want to be?
Yes.
What church you go to, who you should marry, what race you should marry. And deep down inside, there's a person inside, an individual, an authentic person that wants to come out. And for some time, I was trapped. And I didn't understand because I was told who to marry, what church to go, what to eat. I have to wash my meat. Yes, people wash your meat.
Yes,
Always.
yes.
That's
wash
not
your
a
meat.
black thing. That's a
Always.
thing. Wash
Yes.
your meat.
But
But
Not with
right,
soap.
right. But we have been conditioned of how to navigate and operate. But then I had to come to a place. It's like, is that really Lisa? Is that what? Is that my personal legend? I read a book called The Alchemist, and it talks about a personal legend, and that's what I'm chasing. My personal legend, who I really am outside of my mother, outside of my father, outside of being black, outside of being Jamaican. Who is really Anika Lisa Francis? And I will compel all young people, find out who your individual self is, because once you lock into that, you can do pageantry, you can run for prime minister, you can do any and everything. Don't just settle on YOLO. Don't just settle on living your best life. Understand what that is. Understand how that is. Understand if that fits you.
yes.
Do you think is it like parents that put too much pressure on their child, like because they didn't achieve certain things, they just put that pressure on their child because they want their child to do this, or
Absolutely.
yeah.
How are you with your 4 boys?
Well, I'll answer Dino, then I'll answer that.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people that live vicariously through their children because they did not have the tools, resources, and access to do certain things.
Right.
So when they now have children, they're like, I'm going to make sure you do this. I'm going to make sure you do that. Not understanding that, yes, children need to be guided,
Yes.
but you also have to allow them to have full autonomy of who they are.
That's right.
That's where the individuality come in. You need to understand that when you gone dead, they have to live that life that you curated for them and that they may not be happy. I went to school and I witnessed a lot of my friends that had gone to lawyer, doctor, physiotherapist, kinesiologist, all of these amazing careers, and they turn around, they're like, I don't like it. I want to be a photographer. I want to be a hairdresser. I want to be a makeup artist, because that's what spoke to them. But because of their upbringing, their parents is like, well, I had to work in the factory just to feed you. I had to work as a cleaner to feed you. So this is what you need to do. And they try to honor that, but that did not leave them with a digestible career or a lifestyle that is conducive to who they are.
Yes.
So absolutely, parents live vicariously through their children. And is it right or wrong? Right. Because, I mean, you can't tell a person what to do with their kids, right? But you can just navigate them and say, give them a chance, give them an opportunity to take control of themselves to a certain degree. In regards to my children,
Yes.
I am been told that I'm a new age mom. So
What does that
I am
mean?
the so here's it. It's twofold.
New age mom.
It's twofold because my community says I'm a new age mom, but then my community says I'm a dope mom, because what I do is I cultivate my children's lives in those. I'll give you guys an example. My children are all child actors. That is their calling card, but they can do other things. So they all play sports. So some of them started music, and whatever area or path of their life that they choose to go to, if it does not pan out, they have acting.
Yes.
I've created a foundation for my children.
Yes.
Acting na go style.
Yes.
And they will have a resume that I have curated while they're children. So when they become adults and they want to go be a soca artist, or they want to, be a chef or whatever, and it just doesn't pan out, they can turn around and call up an agent and say, hey, this is my resume that I did all of these before.
Yeah.
And the internet don't go old
Yes,
or
it
cold.
doesn't.
So their resume is always online.
That's it.
Right? So
That's
to
good.
answer the type of mom I am,
good,
I'm a
yes.
very understanding mom.
Understanding. Yes.
So
That's
my
very
children
good.
said today they want to play guitar. Let's go
just have to
see.
support.
Let's go see
Yes.
what it is. Maybe I have a Lenny Kravitz in my family. Who knows, right? But I don't shun any child from doing anything,
that they wanna
and I'm
do.
open in that way. It doesn't work. It's not conducive to my upbringing as a child of God. But I work everything in a manner that God gets the glory, and my children understand that their individuality is very important. I have a 22-year-old. Right. And yes, big man. I call him my man child
Yeah. Big
because
man.
he's 6 feet tall. So when we walk on the road and he's a big beard, I'll show you guys a picture. And he's like, Mom. And they're like,
Yeah, they don't. Think
I have to say, sister.
because you don't look like you have a 22-year-old child anyway.
And they always think he's my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, he's my man child. So with him, people were upset that he didn't go to university and college. And mind you, I cried a bit because I saved an RESP for him.
Yes,
But he experienced some challenges in the pandemic. His mental state was affected, just like a lot of the youths, right?
Oh, yes.
And a lot of
Oh, yes.
parents didn't understand how to tackle that. And if I was an bearing mom or aggressive mom. I said, listen, I'm pay for the RESP. I forgot school. I sat down with him. I said, what is it that you want to do? He didn't know. I said, okay, so let's work on this acting career. And you'll have something to do, so you're not just sitting at home. And then while you do that, then you can figure out what you do. He went and got a license to drive 5-ton trucks. Wasn't my first choice, but what makes him happy, I have to support him, because when I go and live my life, because me I build my life. If you're not gonna be in my house, you have to live with his life. But I know that I gave him a foundation, and I always say to him, you always have this career, which is acting, whenever you're ready.
You know, I want to get back because you said you came here when you were 12. What was life like before, like growing up in Jamaica? Do you remember anything like
Of
as a little?
course. Even when I went to Jamaica this year for the pageant, I went through my old neighborhood. I know old lady used to live here. This shop used to be over there. I remember everything. I have a photographic memory, and that took me through life well.
Where's Jamaica you from, by the way?
I'm from Corville Gardens, Kingston 20.
Okay, so it's a town.
Town girl.
Town,
Yes, I was born at Jubilee Hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and when my parents were together, I went to Biston Public School. Prep school, and then I went to George Headley.
Okay. So was it a shell shock when you came to Canada and like? Because you came
Yes,
here.
I came here when I was 11.
Yes,
Thanksgiving, 1995. Remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, this place is cold.
Yes.
And I was
Thanksgiving. Yes.
right, and I was like, what is this big old bird on the table? Called turkey. Right, but most importantly, I lived at Birchmount, and it was a predominantly Caucasian area.
Yes.
So it was
Especially those times.
a huge shock for me. I experienced racism to the fullest extent in the 90s.
That's what I wanted to ask.
I used to wear a bandana on my hair because I lived with my grandma when I came here. She wasn't really good at combing hair. So whatever little thing she put, I just put a bandana over it. So the little people used to call me Aunt Jemima, all sorts of things. The white boys and would push me down in the snow. They would spit on me. Yes, I definitely experienced racism to another level. And then I moved to Malvern the following school year. So I was amongst all black kids. So I went from all white kids to all black kids. Talk about a culture shock there. Then when I went to school in Malvern, then it's all black kids. The boys they had something called the Feel Up Club. So I went from getting bullied to getting chased. I was I just can't win. I can't win. Right. So it was a definite struggle to find who I was and what I meant to do. And of course, at that age, you're like still figuring out puberty and life. Yes. But I tell you, those two examples of schools built me to be who I am, because I have a heart for everyone. Yes. Right now I have an eclectic group of friends. I have friends in every nationality, every economic status. I don't believe in looking down on anyone, because I came here and I live with my grandmother in humble beginnings, and I experienced racism firsthand. So I'm an ally for all races. I'm an advocate for a lot of marginalized communities as well. And it's just because I experienced those two things, it brought me realization that these things really happen.
So seeing you on stage, was it hard?
For Mrs. Universe?
Mrs. Universe, yeah.
I will be very transparent with you guys. So going to Jamaica, and I only have a few family members still there. Most of my family has immigrated to North America. I only had a few family members there. So the crowd was very slim for me.
Yeah.
So when everybody was cheering, and then my name starts with an A, so I was the first contestant.
Oh, wow.
To come out for everything. I said, wow, talk about pressure, right? And I'm the only one that's my first pageant. Right. So I'm like, okay. So when I went out, the crowd not cheer for me. I hold my head up high. I walk the walk. I talk my talk. I pop my shit. Nice. I went back. I don't pay attention to nobody. Because when you start paying attention to other people is when you start analyzing and tripping yourself. Right. I focused on myself. Right. And when we all went out, we started getting our awards. I won Best Evening Gown. I said, thank you, Jesus. That was strategic. Shout out to Pretty Little Curves. Y'all follow them.
I'm going to ask who made the gown. down.
Pretty Little
Okay.
Curves. They're in Pickering. Please, they're on my page. I tag them, but y'all follow
You guys follow.
And then I won Best Active Wear. I was like, okay, that was a surprise.
Nice.
And then I got second place in People's Choice, which was a voting system. So I was just like, okay, I'm not doing too bad here for a girl that never done pageantry. So I said, you know, God, it's the difference is split. I can really come out and do my thing and win. The most nerve-wracking part for me was when I was doing the outfit walks and not much people was cheering. But then I remember the times when I was at that Caucasian school, no one cheered for me, but I still made honor roll. And I remember when I was in Malvern at that school and they used to chase me to touch me up, I still made honor roll. So it's a matter of your flight or fight, right? Your survival, nature versus nurture. I said, you know what? I'm a giant. It don't matter if you cheer for me. I'm cheering for me. Right? So at the very end, hopefully they'll put out the competition. When they asked the questions, we were given 100 questions to study. And the MC was asking the questions. And this time around, look how God worked. I was first for everything except for the questions. I was last. They asked the number 7. I was number 1, number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they went in that order with the questions. And everybody that was asked the questions tripped up on their answers. And I said, just like God, because one thing this girl can do, she can talk.
Yeah.
So you remember
Jamaican.
I did not. They ask you one question off the list of 100. So you had to memorize as much. You had to memorize as much. But the fun fact is he didn't ask any question on that from that list. He asked his own questions. So that's what tripped everyone up. And I'm a very observant person. Just because of the nature of the business that I'm in, I need to be observant. So what I did was when I went up, I kind of answered everybody's questions in my question, and then I answered mine. And then everybody that didn't cheer for me stood and gave me a standing ovation.
Wow. Wow. How was that feeling?
It was very satisfying.
That's great. That's great.
You seem very confident. What helped boost your self-esteem?
My mom. My mom was a single mom of 3 children. Immigrant mom, worked 3 jobs. Some of the jobs she worked in the 90s, it brings tears to my eyes what she did to feed us. And my motivation in life is to make sure I could always take care of her because of all she's done. My mom taught me one thing. You are your biggest enemy and your biggest cheerleader. Choose which one you want to go through life in. My mom taught us that we're beautiful. You don't need no man or no woman or no child to tell you that you are beautiful. My mom told us we are smart. And most importantly, she believed in you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. There's 2 types of people in this world. There's people that let things happen to them, and there's people that make things happen for them. She said, which one you want to be? I said, say less, mommy. So throughout our year, she has always motivated us and empowered us and given us autonomy of ourselves to know that we're awesome.
That's good.
So, I mean, the confidence has been crushed over the years. I will not sit here and lie to you. Because, you know, when people see greatness in you, they're going to do whatever it takes to crush you. I was in an organization for 18 years, and I will not name the organization, and they subdued me. This, what you see right here, took years of healing. They subdued me. They subdued how I dressed, how I talked, how I operated, because I was too live. I was too fleshy. Right? But sometime I had a revelation in 2018 that, you know what, I can serve the Lord and still be great.
That's it.
And in my greatness is where he gets all the glory. Because if I'm subdued and I'm locked away in a closet, how can man see the greatness that God put inside of me and come to him? Right? The Bible said, let your light shine that man be drawn to him. So I got to stand on the top of the hill and let the light that he put in me shine. So I had to take back my power, and I did in 2018. And that's why I say to these young girls, find out who you are, because it took me a very long time to understand that. I thought that I needed to follow certain organizations. I need to follow certain friendships in order to be myself. And I was already dope. Just like you're already dope, Ginger. Just like you're already dope, Ever. You're dope, Dino. You're all dope in your own right. Because God is not, he's not slack in how he made us. He made us fearfully and wonderfully, uniquely. Right? So this confidence, it was work.
I love it.
That's
I
great.
love it.
So I want to know a question. What does Miss Universe come with? Like,
That is a great question. It's one that is always asked. So this is a very new franchise. So Mrs. Universe Jamaica has been around for 47 years, but the franchise, Mrs. Universe has been around for 47 years, but the franchise Jamaica was just purchased 4 years ago. So it's a very new franchise. It's not very known because Jamaica doesn't have a cohort, right?
Yes.
And neither does the other islands. But it comes with visibility where and advocacy, and it's a platform that allows us to connect with politicians and the decision makers in a lot of different industries that we can then connect with them and bring resources to people that are in need. Because when you have the crown and the sash, it's like having a badge, or it's like having like a suit in a certain space, right? Where you're able to connect with those people that can make a difference for those that don't have someone advocating for them. So right now I have a initiative for domestically abused women, so gender-based violence, and I'm going to Jamaica in December to bring care packages to some gender-based violence shelters. Because when in my question that I answered for that I won, I said that I'm going to utilize the crown and the sash to get into rooms that other people may not know how to get into. I'm gonna make sure I use it to get in those rooms so that I can connect with those people that got the pocketbook, got the influence, so I could bring it back to Jamaica and utilize it here to the best of my ability. Because what's the point of having the crown and the sash? Not to just look pretty, but to make a difference.
That's good. You have to use it. You have to use it to your advantage, right?
Especially on females who needs it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Really great.
So I plan on going into a lot of schools and just motivate the young people and letting them know that you don't even need a sash and crown to be great. You're great just by yourself.
True. True. I would like for you to expand more though on the violence, even violence against
Domestic
women,
violence.
domestic violence and stuff. But
So domestic violence. So I was speaking to the National Director of Shelter Services in Jamaica on a conference call last week, and she said that Jamaica didn't have anything in place for domestic violence. It wasn't a thing. You know Jamaicans, y'all Jamaicans, like, all right, your man beat is all right, you know, just suck it up and, you know. However, due to the pandemic, as you guys know, a lot of things rose, a lot of percentages rose in the pandemic. So suicide increased, divorces increased, you know, mental health illness increased, and so did domestic violence. So what happened was 2021 domestic violence increased in Jamaica to the numbers that they could no longer ignore it. So they had to pass a bill in which they had to have funding to now create these homes and these safe spaces for the women and the children. But because Jamaica is still a little bit behind with certain things, they don't have the access and resources like we do. So the children can't go to school because the abuser is still not captured, and the island is so small.
and the thing is that they're not even turning them in either. Like
That too,
they
because
are.
when some people come from a certain community, you know, John knows Tom and Tom knows that, and it, you know, like you can't really. It's a small community. You can't really rat out and if them not get you, someone else gonna get you. So it becomes problematic. So now they're in homes and they're isolated and locked away. They're kind of like in witness protection. So I would like to do my very best to bring support from the people I know, like you guys and other people, and bring some support to them, some basic things they need, like food, toiletries, things that we take for granted is what I'm trying to bring to them. Hygiene products like tampons and deodorant and stuff of that nature. Yes. And here I do support a domestic violence shelter here. I've been doing it with my organization called Quitting Ain't an Option. It's on my page. Y'all check it out. Follow us. We've been supporting them for the last 6 years. I host events where it's twofold. So I host events where the proceeds all go to the shelter, and we have local business owners come. Then I have people come, like guests coming in. So and then I have speakers. So it's a win-win for everyone. So the speakers have access to a full room of people they wouldn't normally have access to. Vendors get to sell their products and their services, and guests leaves empowered. And then all the funds go to the shelters. And with the shelters, what we do is we typically partner with, because I have a bakery, so we partner with other food companies and restaurants, and we bring them Christmas dinner, but we bring it for a week.
Oh, nice.
Right. Wow. And then we bring them grocery boxes, gift cards, because a lot of the time when you're abused, you don't have autonomy to go and purchase anything yourself. So instead of buying the stuff for them, we give them gift card to give them back the power. And then we wrap, you guys know of the Shoebox Initiative?
Yes.
Right? So we do that every single year for the last 6 years, where we get reusable shoe boxes, and we put a book, some Sephora products, some little nice things for the moms. Look at the lipstick, and we wrap it in wrapping paper, and then for the kids we wrap gifts, and we give it to them, and they can hand it out on Christmas Day. And they not just service the women and the children in the shelter, but they have an out center where the people still come to get support. So one year we did 185 families. Wow. Yes, and it was actually featured on City TV. Yes. So we do work here because you can't talk the talk and not walk the walk. I believe in advocating because at one point in my life I was abused domestically, and I speak from experience, and I know how that feel where you were the power was taken from you because of a situation that was over your head, and your abuser thought that, okay, because I have this over her, she can't speak her truth and she can't stand up to me. So I understand what they're going through firsthand.
Yeah. So how did you get out of that situation?
I'm gonna be very honest with you, girl. I just remembered who I was.
Good.
Yeah, I remembered who I was, and
Did it take some time though?
Yes, I was in that situation for a little bit of a year. I mean, it wasn't, first it started as we were fighting, but then eventually,
Like me fighting?
no, as in fist fighting. Yeah, you know, I would defend myself, but after a while it became a little too much, and my 22-year-old was a baby, so it was, you know, it was tough at one point, and then I just came to the place that I didn't want to tell my family. One, become a family real yachties, and they're crazy, and my uncles would murder anything that come near me. They're very protective of me, and I didn't want to put my family in that situation. I wanted to handle it myself, and I say to women that are out there that are in this situation, you allow your family to be your family. Allow your tribe to be your tribe. I tell people, allow your friend to be your friend. Don't think you know how they can handle a situation. They might know how to handle it a lot better than you are anticipating, and they can be that saving force for you. So many women died at the hands of their abuser because they thought that if they told someone it would create a bigger problem, but the bigger problem is you staying in it. So I planned my exit. You know, my abuser had me locked in the house, and I planned it. And when he had to go to work, I packed my stuff in a little garbage bag, and I said I had to go to the doctor, and I planned it for like a good 6 weeks. I sweet him up, nice him up, and everything. And then I took the bus downtown and got my mom's car, and she's like, "What you need the car for?" I said, "Don't worry, mommy. You know, she'll come back." And when I come back, I got garbage bags in her car, and she's like, "What happened?" I said, "Nothing. I just got my voice back." But it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't easy, because what happened is I ended up being in family court for 13 years because then my abuser said that I kidnapped my child.
Wow.
Right. So there's a lot of repercussions
You
to
said
these.
13 years?
13 years I was in family court. And I tell you, when I started, I had a whole team. Yeah, Lisa, we behind you. And then week 1, week 2, month 1, month 2, I was by myself. And there were days, I tell you, that I cried at 47 Shepherd Avenue. I was by myself. But I knew that I'm never by myself. I have God. So when you ask about the confidence, girl, I've been through.
You're a strong one.
I've been through, and I will say that the support that I needed at that time, I didn't necessarily have it, so I want to be there for someone else.
Good stuff.
I want to ask you, are you working with anybody from the city? Doug Ford, Olivia Chung?
No, I don't. And I'll say this. So my job that I work at the city, I've been in the city for 10 years. I got into the city as a social service worker. I was a caseworker. That was my very first position there. I no longer do that, but I keep my job private. So I don't, so whatever I do is through quitting ain't an option, because I just acquired this crown and sash just 8 weeks ago, but I was already working in the community, hands-on. People know me because I do advocacy work for marginalized communities. So what I do, if I am working with them, it's not through my job. It'll be through my advocacy initiatives.
Okay.
Yes.
So you say that's your passion? Like, what's your passion? Like helping people?
I've been called a master connector. I like to connect people to either their purpose or to people that can get them to their purpose. And their purpose doesn't have to be financial. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're going to help me get to the bag?" I said, "How about I help you get to you?"
Yes.
Right? Because because you could get 1 million bags and not know how to keep it. If you understand who you are, for sure, you'll be able to handle anything.
That's right.
So my passion, to answer your question, Dino, is just I'm a people person.
Okay.
Yes. And in whether I'm acting, I'm at my 9 to 5, or I'm in my business, or I'm managing my boys, or I'm doing quitting ain't an option, I'm always in a space to help someone.
Right.
Okay, it's great.
Like that.
So, 2024 is almost over. What do you say would be your most accomplishment, for this year so far? Even though the year is not done, but
Right. 2024 has been my toughest year. Yeah, I think this year, everyone that I've spoken to just asked God to throw it away. This year has been, and it's so crazy. This year was a very tough year in so many ways. Though I won Mrs. Universe Jamaica, and it's a big deal for a lot of people. It's a big deal for me as well. I mean, my life was pretty fulfilled before. So it's just another notch on my belt, another stench on my resume. But overall, I would say the biggest accomplishment I have was on my vision board, because I do vision boards and I believe firmly in it. My vision board stated I wanted to travel for work, and I got that in May when I was hired to go to Mexico to film a commercial. So that was my biggest accomplishment, because as an actor, you're going up against thousands of people, not just in Canada, from LA, from New York, all over. And if I'm handpicked to go to Mexico to film, it's more than a blessing.
Definitely.
So I know people will be like, Shinaga said Mrs. Universe. I said that was pretty dope as well. But I know that on my vision board, what was important to me, and that God manifested that for me.
That's great. To God be the glory, definitely. What did you shoot in Mexico, by the way?
I shot the vapor cool commercial.
Okay.
Yes, that was in Mexico in May.
Yeah. How long was the shoot?
The shoot was 13 hours. But I was there for a week, because we had a lot of like rehearsals and but the actual shoot day was 13 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So do you get a break to enjoy yourself?
No. We did local sightseeing, like me and the other actors, but because it's Mexico, it's not safe to do too much without being on a resort, and we're not on Mexico. We're not in Mexico. We're in Mexico City.
Okay.
So we had to follow the rules. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had a lot of like early call times and stuff. So it was work.
Yes.
But the thing is, for me, I do what I love, so I don't. It don't feel like work. Being on set for 13 hours to some people, like, oh my God, no, I love it.
So it doesn't come to work. It just.
It's passion. Like me being on set today, shooting with my business partner is passion. I love it. Yes, where I'm at right now, 40. Everything that I take on, if it's not fun, I don't want it.
So what's your big step? What's on for the next project? What's the big project?
Girl, if you know how much things are on my plate, you wouldn't even ask. My family friends are like, you
What's
taking on
next?
something else? They just always looking for the what's next.
Yes.
So to be very honest, we have 58 days left before New Year's. I intend to tailor what I already do so that it becomes automated, because my goal is to be retired very soon, so that I can truly live the best
Enjoy
life.
life. Yes. It's good to.
So I want to tailor what I do right now. So work hard and not smart, be intentional and strategic about how I do my acting and how I work my children's careers and everything that I have that I'm involved in, my businesses, just automated so that it works for me, not against me. So that's what's next, being intentional and truly reinventing who I am.
Good stuff. So we're gonna.
We still have some more questions.
Oh yeah, Ginger don't ask her questions.
Everything I want to ask it. They're right. So
Right, they're all up in Ginger's. Why you guys in her cards?
Before you want to move. Okay. So so like living in this time, I know social media could be cruel.
Yes.
Do you get any negativity, any harassment, any bullying on social media?
I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. As you can tell, I'm pretty straightforward. I'm the blocking queen.
Yeah.
If I smell it, I feel it, you block.
No, yeah.
I don't care if you my sister, you getting blocked. I don't play. My peace is so important to me. I will not be bullied and I will not be trolled. I don't think so. You're entitled to your opinion. I just don't need to hear it.
That's it.
No. So what I do get, I will be honest. So I grew up in a very traditional Christian lifestyle, a Christian
Also?
community.
Okay.
So I just started wearing pants in the pandemic after 18 years.
Really?
Right.
You were not wearing pants
I
before.
have not worn pants since high school. I have worn skirts and dresses for the past 18 to 20 years. So in the pandemic, I came to, remember I said 2018, I came to like an epiphany in my life, revelation of getting back autonomy of myself. And that was one of the transitions of, am I being disobedient to my bishop? Am I being disobedient to the church community? And I had to understand that my relationship with God is not based on my garments, it's based on my heart.
Okay.
So I had to get that revelation, but it couldn't take it from another person. It needed to be experienced through God. So in the pandemic, I started wearing pants, but not just wearing pants. I don't have my ears pierced. These are clip-ons. I've never had my ears pierced, right? I don't have tattoos. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And my first party that I went to was 20 years old, and the second party I went to was 40 years old.
Say that again. Say that again.
I have never been to a date.
like, is
I've
there a
never been to a
reason?
day party. I have never been to a fete. I went to Caravan at 13. I've never been to Caravan again.
Wow.
However, people do believe that because I have a very confident personality and I'm a push the button type of girl, push the envelope type of girl. They think I'm wild and I do the most. I just let people have their narrative, right? Until you truly meet me and know who I am. You understand I'm a very simple girl. So in saying that, when it comes to bullying and social media right now, a lot of the people in my church community are quite shocked because now I dress to please myself.
Oh yeah.
So if I wear sleeveless, I wear sleeveless, and that's something I was not raised to do. One of the biggest challenges I had was I had a model. She came here from Uganda. She was 18 years old, and she was a refugee, and I did some work to raise funds for the refugees. But the coordinator told me she's a model, and she's like, you're in the industry. Can you introduce her to some people to see if she can come out of the shelter and get into the modeling?
Industry.
So I know a lot of people. I'm a master connector. So one of a stylist I knew was having an event, and I brought this model with me. I have to dress for the event. I can't wear church clothes. So I wore this orange dress, half shoulder. I have to show up. I have to be on brand. And I brought the model there with me, 18-year-old. She called me auntie to this day. And we're in the place and we're dance and whatever. You're in something. You're not going to sit on the side like a sour puss. You're going to engage. And long story short, that clip, I posted it online because you know why I posted it? Another model came up to me and said, who represents her? And I said, nobody. That's why we're here, to get representation. He connected me with his model agent, and long story short, she's now in editorial.
Nice. Nice.
She's doing amazing. She's about to go to Milan
Wow.
because
Congratulations.
of the connection.
Yes,
But wait,
yes.
I posted that on my Instagram to showcase just how good God is, and the church community like, oh, and she'll grind and she'll bubble and she have on half shoulder dress and she with young people like she young, and and it bothered me because I want to make sure that I'm presenting a certain way.
Yes.
But then I looked at her and said, nah, I'm not about to let you steal my joy.
Yes.
Nah. So when it comes to the internet,
Yeah.
it can be cruel because
yeah.
the young lady's life was changed. And it will forever be changed. And if I did not take on that challenge to take her there,
Yes,
she would
she
not
would
have
have
what she
not.
have. So I'll take that chip on my shoulder. It's
sure, of
okay.
course.
Go ahead. They did worse to Jesus.
That's true. Do you think, like, with your, like, not with your, but like church brothers and sisters, they could be judgmental at time? Like,
Yes. Absolutely. If you follow me on Instagram, I just posted a video. And I remember I said I like to push the button and the envelope. I am, someone said I'm a poop disturber. Yes, I am. I just do it for the fun of it.
nicest way.
In the nicest way. So there's a transition where you're at the airport and then you jump over your camera and you end up on the beach. So I did one of those,
nice.
but I had on like one of those Jamaica dress that has a slit. I mean, I had a bathing suit underneath. So it's long, but it has a slit, and I was posed a certain way. There's a lot of legs. Someone messaged me.
I think I seen that.
Are you?
Yes.
They're like, "Are you sure you want to post it?" I said,
I didn't
"Yes."
see nothing.
Oh, it was too much legs.
I was
You know,
thinking that
right.
was even there.
But you're not in my community.
Oh,
Right. They're
when
like,
I see that,
Miss
like a lot
said,
of people do
heads
this, right?
roll.
Wow,
Yes.
Right.
that's crazy.
Right. So I get critiqued a lot in my church community, but here's the thing. There's a saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So they can't beat me, so a lot of them are coming on board to join me.
Definitely.
Yes.
They have no choice.
That's it. And the Bible also say, whom God blesses, no man can curse.
Definitely.
And every single
Definitely.
thing that I do, I do it with God getting
Put
the
God
glory.
first.
When I was on stage for Mrs. Universe Jamaica, I spoke about my King of Kings and my Lord of Lords. I cannot have been not here without him.
Yes.
So in everything I do it with discretion. I do it in moderation, and I give him the glory. I'm still going to enjoy myself, though. Because you know what? I was locked up. They won't let me out for 18 years. You
now
best
you're
believe
all
girls
enjoy,
outside.
girl.
I was gonna say put God first in everything you do.
I do.
What are you, Baptist,
So
Seventh-day?
I'm apostolic.
Apostolic.
So
I don't think I ever
even
heard
the
of it.
Apostles Foundation,
Okay.
we say Jesus Christ in everything. He's the Lord, the Savior, the Almighty God.
Okay.
So not Pentecostal, but apostolic.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, before we wrap this up, is there anything you have to say out there to our audience? Probably for women who go through domestic violence and kind of talk about it, or like anything in general, like.
Well, I can speak to women on a whole, not just domestic violent women, because I think I touched on that. Domestic violence is not okay. And teach your boy children, women, moms, teach your boy children to love. Teach your boy children to find another option other than hitting and violence. If you see them hitting each other at a young age, start correcting it from now, because it will only manifest into violence as an older person. And also manage your children's emotions, help them to talk it out and find affirmations to build them up, because it's only weak men that hit women. It's only men that are insecure about themselves, and men that don't have proper knowledge and understanding and healing is who preys on the weaker sex. So with moms, I empower you. Just check in on your kids. I get it. Rent is due, mortgage is due, bills are due, but your children, they are your one task in life, and you're sending them out to society, and you need to ensure that you're sending them out properly, because they're going to do things that is representing of your parenting. Right. So make sure you do a great job. And then to all the other women, young women, if you feel that you need mentorship, seek it out. It doesn't have to be a physical person. Could be someone on TV. My mentor is Michelle Obama. She don't know that, but now she does. And I read about everything she does, and I take what I need to take to apply to my life. Not everything will be applicable, but you just take the things that you need and grow. I can't tell Black people enough, read. They say if you want to get things over Black people, put it in black and white.
Yes.
That is unfortunate. If you are not good at reading, start with audiobooks. It's very cheap. Audio reading, empower yourself with knowledge, because knowledge is power, and knowledge will put you into rooms that you cannot fathom. And if I will close off to say, for young women, individuality, young men, individuality. Just because they do it online doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because they say it at school does not mean you have to say it. Find your voice and lead your own tribe.
One more question. So I know you said something about vision board. So for 2025, what do you have? What goal? Do you have any goals set? What do you have planned for
That's a great
2025?
question. So I am going to be hosting a vision board party sometime this month. So y'all come out. Yes.
Yes, you can
I
send an
believe
invite.
not just walking, but not just talking, but walking and lead by example. So I believe in vision boards. I used to have vision board parties with Quitting Ain't an Option to motivate the community. So I'll be having it this year again. My vision board is going to be very intimate this year for 2025. Like I mentioned to her, I want to tailor the things that I do so that they're automated. So that they are tailored to who I am and who I desire to be. So definitely they'll be traveling there, but not just to the beach. I want to go to Italy to make pasta. You know?
Try different stuff.
Right. I'd like to go into the Mayan caves. I want to go snowboarding in Dubai. Right? Down the dunes. Right. I want to experience life. I don't want to just travel and sit on a beach. I want to experience the great wonders of this world. So that is something that is on my vision board. Definitely, getting in shape. Laying off the peanut butter. And also I want to be able to inspire more women to show up for themselves and more people to cast away fear. because fear is the stealer of joy and success. And again, people read.
Yes.
It is so important to read. I meet so many beautiful people, intelligent people that said, I don't read. And I'm like, how?
But how do you make it out? Without
Why?
reading?
And you can't say, oh, but I read the news on Instagram. That's not news.
Some people just
Sensationalized.
they just read the headline and just go with
And
it. They
it's,
don't
they
get
just,
into
they
it. Yeah.
just absorb it. And that's, oh my God. And fact check, people. Just because someone Satan is your buddy, that don't mean it's correct. Fact check.
Yes.
Read, research. You'll see how much greater you'll be. I challenge you.
Yes.
When they invite me next year to podcast, I hope y'all call in.
All right, Miss Anika, the queen.
Wait, I would like to pray for y'all.
Oh,
Heavenly
thank you,
Father, most
thank you.
eternal righteous God, we humbly come before you, Lord. We thank you, God, for this group of people. We pray, God, that everything that they put their hands and their minds to will be successful. Let no weapon that is formed against them prosper. And every tongue that rises up against them, let it be condemned in the name of Jesus Christ. Let this podcast go into eyes and ears and rooms that they cannot fathom, God. Allow them to be sponsored by the biggest brands in the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Amen.
In my closing speech, I always say, Jamaica, Liliko.
Salawa. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So guys, this is Anika Lisa.
It was a pleasure having you on Hailing the Model.
Make sure you guys follow her on all social media platforms.
Dre's Cakes, baby. That's my bakery. Follow and order.
Shout out your social media.
Yes, I am Anika Lisa. And then you can follow my business, Dre's Cakes. That's DRAYZ, Cakes with a Z. And you can also follow Quitting Ain't an Option if you'd like to sponsor our shelter initiative. Contact us there.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Appreciate it. Once again, it's a hot spot. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share.
See you next time.
Bye.
All right.